Hi folks, MJ Gallagher here. You may know me as the guy that is absolutely obsessed with mythology and Final Fantasy, and you'd be right. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has an enormous amount of mythological references, particularly to Norse mythology. Anyone who's familiar with it and has spent time in the Nibel region will know that there is an outrageous number of references to the Norse underworld, but you also have things such as Midgard Sormr, the World Serpent, or even the endgame weapons for many of the characters being related to Norse mythology. But how does all this relate to Chapter 14? Well, I'm glad you've asked. According to the Vikings, the known universe is made up of 9 worlds. 2 of the worlds are Midgard and Niflheim, from which Final Fantasy VII takes the names Midgard and Nibelheim. The cosmic entity that connects all these is the World Tree, Yggdrasil. Anyone that's familiar with the MCU or even just Marvel Comics may have seen this concept before. At the start of Chapter 14, we are introduced to the idea that there are not only 2 realities, as has been teased throughout the remake series already, sort of identified by the Beagle stamp and by the Terrier stamp. It actually shows us that there are multiple realities with different breeds of stamp. And all of these seem to be dying, these realities seem to be dying due to an absence of live stream. So, early in Chapter 14, Sephiroth refers to these pocket dimensions or realities, or whatever you want to call them, as worlds. And his goal is explicitly stated to see them reunite. Now, I know that there are many popular theories out there about how the worlds themselves exist within livestream. I won't get into that. But I actually disagree. I believe that these are real physical places. I think that when fate is breached in key moments, such as the Zack's death, and how he is still alive in the Terrier world. I think this occurs because the live stream literally branches off from the main cycle to create a new tangible reality. In Zack's case, obviously when he makes decisions, there are also sub-branches, and these branches and sub-branches are basically the formation of a tree. So in my opinion, I think this is backed up because there is a ridiculous amount of tree symbolism throughout Rebirth, and that can be all the tree imagery that's around the Temple of the Ancients, the huge amount of raw materials that can be found for transmuting items that actually rely on ingredients from a wide species of trees. The characters themselves, the in-game progression system is based on a skills tree, which is different from Remake. And towards the end of the game, you also get a hold of the Yggdrasil armlet, which is one of the most powerful accessories in Rebirth. But that's not all. We actually have a literal microcosm of the very concept that I'm talking about in the form of the gold saucer. This is similar to the original game. This is a tree-like structure whose branches actually connect to a variety of worlds or squares. You also find that the only time in the game where there are alternative realities or date scenes, this actually occurs within the gold saucer as well. But what is the importance of this? Why have it this way at all? Well, my theory is that once the live stream realizes that it's diverged into a world where the intended, or the planet's intended fate is not realized, it would begin to recede and return to the sort of the main cycle of the live stream, return to its source. which would then result in that particular world dying. This is actually consistent with the flow of spirit energy that we've known since the original game, where when a living thing dies, the spirit energy will return to the main cycle of the live stream. I think that at the point where the live stream re-enters the main cycle, that is the reunion of worlds that Sephiroth talks about in chapter 14, and I think he is present to absorb it. Now, this is exactly what he states that he's going to do in the original game by creating the injury on the planet and being at the centre of that. Only this time around, when the live stream re-enters or reunites with the real world, that is tainted by despair as a result of the worlds themselves dying. Now, this is very consistent with the large, or it's basically a large-scale version of what Sephiroth does in On the Way to a Smile, and how he gains power from the death of those suffering with geostigma and the despair that has tainted the live stream. So that's my crackpot tree world theory. I hope you like it, and I just very quickly want to congratulate Daniel and the team at Final Fantasy TV, or Final Fan TV, my apologies, for making it to the 100 episode mark. I love you guys, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.